What's up, everybody? Three and a possible here. We have a possible
Yes, sir.
today. Esteemed guest, sport fanatic, Timberwolves, Nebraska Huskers, Minnesota Vikings fanatic. If I ever need information about any of those teams, this is my guy that I'll go to. Gavin Hagar, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Appreciate you guys having me on. It's going to be a good time here. Go Huskers.
Go Huskers.
Wow.
You don't hear that
He's
very
so
often on
serious.
this show.
No, I know.
He's very
And he won't.
Best 3-9 team of all time.
man.
Best 3-9 team of all time right here, okay?
Didn't they lose to Illinois this year?
Yes, sir.
Gavin, how many
I'm just saying.
years?
I thought so.
How many years has Taylor Martinez been on the Huskers? I swear this guy's been
He's
there
still on
for
the
like
team?
10 years.
You know, this is Adrian Martinez now, okay? It's a whole different
okay.
person. But yes, we have Martinez
That
quarterbacks.
makes a lot more sense
often.
now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, the dude's still there. Oh, my goodness.
I caught a random Huskers game. I saw Martinez. I'm like, I swear Gavin told me about this dude when we were like sophomores in college. I was like,
That's
how is
true.
he still at Nebraska? This makes a lot more sense now.
It's
right.
true.
Well, let's get into it. So, Gavin, you are a big Vikings fan. We do cover
Indeed.
the NFL briefly
Oh,
on
my
this
goodness.
show.
I'm so sorry.
Hey,
Man.
Don't feel
Not
sorry for
everybody
me.
can
You
have
got
three-
a Dolphins fan here in person.
Mhm.
hey.
Hey, they're coming
All right.
around, though.
About the
Hey,
same
where's-
level.
Ain't
Talk
worse than
about
me,
one of
so.
his 18 teams that he has. All right.
I had
So,
three teams. Come on now.
Bud, shut up. That boy lied.
And they all suck right now.
That boy lied.
That's good.
All right. So, Gavin, I've come to the conclusion that the Vikings are at least top
Ass.
three hardest teams to figure out in the NFL. Top three hardest to figure out. So, like, I think it was week 2, had the Cardinals, right? Who we all now
Right.
know are elite.
Legit.
One of the
Yep.
best teams in the NFL. The Vikings are like a 30-yard field goal away from beating them. That Blair Walsh, still the kicker? Yeah?
No
Just-
Blair Walsh.
No Blair Walsh. Remind me. Who missed it? Who missed the kick?
Dude,
Oh,
so Greg Joseph is his name.
Greg Joseph. Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
hmm He's been around. I think he played in Tampa for a few kicks last year. But yeah, he's pretty much a no-namer, middle-of-the-road kicker. We are over spending draft capital and high cash amounts on kickers that Zimmer has just a masterful way of ruining. I don't know what that's all about, but I mean, you guys saw Daniel Carlson, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
Yes.
Thanksgiving, the dude went off. He put up like 24 points for fantasy. And, of course, who drafted him in the 4th round? Minnesota Vikings. Who ruined him after a year?
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings. Now he's one of the top 5
War Eagle.
in the NFL.
War Eagle.
Yeah. So,
That's rough.
no.
Yeah, okay, that's rough.
Yeah, difficult team to understand for sure. We've got lots of weapons all the way across the offensive board. The offensive line has finally found mediocrity. It's been below average for literally 7 of Zimmer's 8 or 9 years with us. And it's finally average. I think we really hit a good one with our left tackle this year, Darrisaw. We finally benched our center, Bradbury, which I think was a definite improvement.
He was still in the league.
Pick for a backup center who is definitely better than him right now. So according to Pro Football Focus, we're right in the middle of the league, and I think you've seen an uptick in our offense because of that. We know who Kirk Cousins is at this point. He's a distributor. He's a game manager. He's not going to win you a championship, but let's all not forget Joe Flacco did win a national champ or an NFL championship at some point. So someone like Kirk Cousins can get it done. But I think the biggest issue with us this year has been defense. We went and poured stupid amounts of money into that defense. And I think as of right now, we're the 31st against the pass.
Yo.
And as of the last 6 weeks, we are 32nd against the pass. So that just can't continue. You know, the offense is good, but it's not the Kansas City Chiefs here where you can have a piss poor defense and still be 7-4, right? We are not that. We don't have that caliber of a quarterback, quite frankly. I think all the pieces are there except for potentially the leadership. And this breaks my heart because, like, as a Viking fan my whole life, I think Zimmer has been our best coach. However, I think he's lost this defense. They're not playing hard
Usually
for
it's
him.
calling
I don't know
hard,
if he's
too.
lost the defense or if he's lost the locker room guys or if it's just the NFL has evolved and he's struggled to keep up. They've learned to.
All right.
That D-line's not the same.
Let's talk about Zimmer real quick. Joe, I want your input on that one. I got some thoughts, but Joe, I want to hear your thoughts too.
I think it's just a bad situation. They lost. That D-line's not the same. Like you said, Gavin, their defense has not been progressing at all. It's actually been going the opposite way the last 4 years. So that's something that you think you would have going upwards if you have Zimmer and a defensive-minded coach. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, is Kirk Cousins is your problem. You don't have a quarterback. He can be flashy, put up some points, put up some stats, but in a primetime game, you know what you're going to get from him, and it's not going to be pretty. And I think that's what's hurting them more than anything. You got Dalvin Cook there, but your offensive line's not great, so Dalvin Cook's not going to be having those games like Derrick Henry does when he's healthy with Tennessee. So then you got to rely on Kirk Cousins way too much, and he's still, just like Carson Wentz, holds on to the ball way too long, and I think that makes that offensive line look a little bit worse. So I think that's their main issue is Kirk Cousins. But they definitely need to make some changes on that defense, or Zimmer's going to have to go because he is a defensive-minded coach, and that defense does not look good.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the previous like method for Zimmer was all right, run the ball and play good defense. You got Dalvin Cook, you got a good enough offensive line, I think, where if the defense is good, then you can work that way. Then Cousins just has to make plays that Thielen and Jefferson when it's timely, right? The issue to me seems they used to rely a lot on Xavier Rhodes. Like Zimmer used to always have corners. You don't got corners anymore. You
No.
can't you can't play the same. You can't play the Zimmer style of defense without the corners. You still got Harrison Smith, who's just a freaking maniac and makes plays all over the
And
field. But
we got Xavier Woods too, who ain't bad, but yeah, to your
it's not the
point,
same though. Like
you
you
need a
used to be able to
corner.
take somebody. You could put the top corner on the Vikings for I feel like at least like 6 or 7 almost straight years, and they could eliminate the number one or at least
let's not act like they didn't.
very slow.
They also had 2 or 3 dudes on that D line that were monsters too.
Oh, no doubt.
Like they had a pass rush. Now they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, whatever's going on with Everson Griffith, like, hope he gets all that figured out. That seemed like a really scary situation that was going on at his home. But yeah, like their D line aged out. No more Jared Allen, no more prime Griffith. You still got
Danielle Hunter,
Daniel
but
Hunter.
he was out all last year with the neck, and then now he's sidelined for the year. I think with a torn pec this year, so he's out again. So yeah, for sure.
You guys brought up Kirk. Go for it. Go for it.
No, yeah. The only thing in his defense, right? Like we paid for Kirk, right? And so then we were up against it with the budget, and so we had to hit reset and rebuild that defense. And so you saw a lot of the kind of stalwarts go out the door. And that was about 3 years ago. So with a defensive-minded coach and with the amount of money and draft capital that you put into that defense, you would suspect that it should be back up to speed by this point. And at present, it's just not. So, yeah, I think you're right with the quarterback. He's not elite, but I think the biggest blame right now has to be placed at Zimmer because when you look at it, Cousins is playing better than he ever has. And you paid for him to do just that, to be the best version of himself here. He's doing that. What we're not getting the best version of is Zimmer right now.
Okay.
So what you think about Kirk Cousins?
Like, do you think Kirk Cousins can be the guy, or is it like, is he like is he gonna Tannehill you like what my Dolphins had for a longest time, where it's like he's too good to make you suck, but like he's not good enough to be like the one.
Yeah, I think they're entering a very important offseason here. I think you probably move on from Zimmer this offseason. Even if you make the playoffs, even if you pull off one miraculous win against like the Rams or someone like that. But right now, I think Kirk is $40 million against the cap, maybe even more for next year. They put it all on that back year. So they're either going to have to swallow that whole or they're going to have to trade him or restructure, right? So I anticipate if it's going to be a change of pace. I anticipate an offensive-minded coach. I'm not sure exactly where I want us to go at this point, but I could see them going another year with Zimmer or with Cousins and just biting the bullet, that $40 million, and then letting him walk next year and trying to draft either another quarterback this year or a quarterback next year, because I'm not too crazy about this year's class. And I also think we're going to win too many games to be a top 10 draft pick. So we'll miss out on the 3 or 4 that look like they're going to be in the top 10, which means not this year, but next year we would kind of be in the market. And I just lost who's the quarterback, Will, that we drafted this year from A&M?
Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond. I
yeah.
do like Kellen Mond, but like he needed to sit this year. He's going to be able to sit all this year. Next year we bring in an offensive-minded coach, have Kirk play well. Maybe if not, then you go to Kellen. You see what you have with him, and then look to draft again in the future. But I think the only way that Kirk works out is if next year somehow they can't trade him. He stays with that offensive-minded coach, and they do something impressive next year, like win the division and go to the conference championship game. Maybe then they would restructure, but he would probably have to take a hometown discount at that point. And at that point, just kind of like McVay moving on from Goff, it's like, yeah, he's good. I can make it to a Super Bowl with him, but I don't think I can win with him. I think it would be on that coach for that year to figure out, can I actually win with him, or can I just do really good things with him?
It's a dangerous game.
Let's
go to your Timberwolves. Let's go to your Timberwolves because we got more basketball minds on this show. Basketball,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Show. So I remember back when, for those of you that don't know, Gavin and I used to have our own little K-Slew radio show. We debated the Timberwolves plenty, and he was very excited about Karl Anthony Towns when Karl Anthony Towns came there.
I'm sorry.
So great, good player. But now you got a shiny new toy, a guard. Anthony Edwards. So I want to know, how do you feel about Ant?
Dude, I love him. I wasn't crazy. There was just so much uncertainty when he came out. So like I didn't know if he was gonna, click, and I definitely didn't expect him to click as soon as he did. I mean, he pretty much hit the court last year, and he was one of the best players, if not the best player on the team. And I love his confidence in some of those things. Like, hey, I've noticed you started winning a lot more games. What do you think the reason is? He's like, they're playing me in the fourth quarter. That's what it is. So you love to see that kind of alpha male mentality in a 19, 20-year-old. He seems to have, I think we've got really lucky. I know Karl Anthony Towns probably hasn't been as good as we had hoped. He's kind of gotten into this. He's kind of settled into this. I'm a top 5 big, but I'm not the best big, right? And I think we all saw that potential when he showed up, that he could be the best big in the league, and he's kind of settled. But at the same time, he seems content with staying in Minnesota, and I think that's always been an issue with Jimmy. Coming and only stopping for a year and wanting to go to a bigger city.
As the great Jimmy, I'm glad you brought him up. As the great Jimmy Butler said about Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, I can understand that though. Like, as a small market fan, I understand that we're not gonna. A lot of these guys are gonna want to go try their hands in Miami, New York, LA. So it's like, hey, we have them, let's be thankful for them.
I think Jimmy would have stayed. I don't think the market was an issue. I think it was Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins were the issue. I don't think he wanted to play with them.
I believe it. Wiggins, he drove me up a wall for sure, but I think you've got 2 guys who are really good right now. I love Ant. I think that he seems wanting to stay there and build something special there. You've got 2 really good players and kind of this nucleus of younger players kind of buying into what the coaching staff is putting down. The coaching staff largely minded offense, but then you make the savvy move to go get Patrick Beverley, and kind of like the Vikings offensive line, like you can see the offense perform better just because they're average. Like, hallelujah, we've worked for 5 years to be average. The defense isn't elite. but it's average.
Boy.
And that's why we're seeing this uptick in performance this year, this 500 mentality. And I think it's because that heart that Beverly plays with, right? I mean, yes, they are much better on defense when he's on the court, but like it's contagious when you have a leader like that and you play with that kind of heart. And so I think that that's why you're seeing this uptick with them. I'm excited to see what the future holds. I think Edwards is a beast. I think he could become a top 5 guard in this league, probably in the next year and a half to 2 years, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of Cats, bro. Yeah, I gotta get rid of Cats.
Facts, gotta go.
Like,
You think Cats gotta go?
Can't get on for nothing.
All right, Devion, expand on that. Jump in here. We haven't heard much from you today.
Yeah,
We talked too much
man.
football.
Cat is just a disappointment at this point. Just go and trade for some nice players and go, because Anthony, I like Anthony. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely surprised he's that good. So I'd rather go try to build a team around him. Cat is like a failed experiment in my opinion. He's too soft. He's offensively, I give him offensively, he's gifted, like one of the most gifted big men in the league, but everything else you can't win a championship with.
Can you convince Cat to be number 2 or third option? If you convince him to do that,
you don't like Cat to be 2?
personality. Yeah, if he's not the number 1 dude, it could be nice.
I think he has the mentality for it. To be
right.
he
average 20 points a game, get rebounds. I think Cat can do that. He's not. I mean,
totally be the third option.
Come on, you really think Cat will be all right with being the third option? Be real. That's gonna tear him up mentally.
I don't see Cat as like this guy that's like, I need to get my shots up. Like I don't get that vibe from Karl-Anthony Towns. I just don't think he's ever gonna like push himself to like get in the best shape, push himself defensively. Like I don't see him doing anything like that. But I don't think
he lost his family from COVID. Yeah, he worried about bigger things than being in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's plenty mentally tough.
Yeah,
I saw what I needed to see when Jimmy was there.
Facts. That's
like real shit. Like I saw what I needed to see when Jimmy was there. Jimmy Butler is one of probably the best teammates you ever have. He's really a likable guy, and he gonna be like a good driving force for you. So, but I guess he might be hard to get along with because of like the personality.
He's a likable guy if you have the right personality.
Yeah,
if you're on the same kind of.
You can win championships the Jimmy Butler way, but you can also win championships the Steph Curry way. Right? Or the LeBron James way.
Golden State was a top tier
defense. That was defense.
I understand that, but like Jimmy is the leader. No one questions that.
Mentality wise, Curry.
Like Miami has that hard nosed type of play. And like even go to LeBron. LeBron doesn't lead the same way that Jimmy does. And so Cat is got this soft mentality now. Everyone puts that label on him, but that's just because Jimmy's the hardest guy in the NBA. No. Of course, Cat's gonna look soft in comparison to a guy like Jimmy.
But
Jimmy's not the leader in Miami either. Pat Riley is the leader. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight.
Miami. On the court, Jimmy is the leader.
He's just trying to piss me off. That's all. That's all that is. He's just trying to piss me off.
Dude, Jimmy and Pat Riley are like perfect. Pat Riley's like the Sith Lord who's just making moves that no one sees, and then like Jimmy's like Darth Vader, just like he's just like, I'm the greatest. And it's just like, what? Are you serious? The greatest? And then he goes out there and plays like it. Sometimes they got a heck of a combination.
Right. I want everybody's feedback on this, but I'm going to start with Gavin. As of right now, the Timberwolves are in the play-in game. Can they hold on? I want to know if they can hold on. Gavin, start us off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got a young nucleus that's only getting better. I think there's a lot of sustainable stats out there. Nobody's been playing like absolutely outside of their minds at this point that have gotten them to this 11-11, I think is their record. They're playing right now too. I think you can see an uptick in performance in Cat right now. I know we can see more out of Anthony Edwards. Who's the
D'Lo? If he just starts playing a little more efficient, he's shooting like 40 to 41%. Need a little better than that.
If he takes 15 shots instead of 21, 24 shots.
So, I've got him on fantasy. He's like right around 25 to 28 points, but every once in a while he goes off for 40. If we can just get our average to be like, a consistent fantasy output of like 30 to 35 for my squad, that would be very helpful. But then also, I think that's exactly what the team as a whole needs. Just like a sustaining guard that's like you can look to for like scoring leadership. Beverly is going to be bringing it on a regular basis on the defensive side. We need someone to always be there when Edwards has his off days, and I think D'Lo's got to be that guy. So I think that this can absolutely be sustained moving forward, so long as injuries can hold back, and that's kind of
of course,
precursor for everybody. But like we don't have great depth, so we wouldn't be able to stomach a big loss like that.
Joe,
No chance. I'm looking at the standings. I'm looking at the standings right now. No chance. Are you kidding me? Portland's below them. The Nuggets are below
Portland
them.
just fired their president of basketball ops. They're a fucking mess.
What's he do on the court? That don't mean nothing. Just because
he put together that bullshit ass team.
He did put a terrible team together. Just fine. They're gonna be just fine. Nuggets gonna be healthy. The Clippers there. The Kings are playing better. Come on, man.
All right. We're not gonna talk about the Queens.
We're talking about the Kings right now.
You should say the Sacramento.
You said, Joe, your words were no chance. You're telling me there's no chance the Timberwolves will finish ahead of the fucking Kings?
I'm not saying that. I'm looking at the Kings at 11. There's no way the Timberwolves are staying at 8. They're not that good of a team. Anthony Edwards is
a playing game. That's 7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 through 10, my boy.
It's a 10, don't it? Man. It's possible. Okay, I'll give him a chance. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
just not staying at that 8. It's going to be a fight at the end. It's going to be a fight because Alvin Gentry's not going to give up. Those Kings, they got a couple some players there now. They not some bums.
Boy,
they can compete.
Yes,
they can compete with the Timberwolves, bro. The Timberwolves are not going to stay in the 8 spot. Portland going to play better. The Nuggets going to play better. The Kings are starting to play better. It's going to be between the Kings and the Timberwolves. It's going to be close. I'm telling you.
All right, man.
All right.
It's going to be close.
Devion, I want to hear your input now. I'm tired of Joe talking up the damn Kings.
Look, simple.
TC. You don't see?
Bro, first of all, Portland is a toss-up at this point. You don't know. You really don't know what you're getting from them this year. It really seems like Dame is – I don't really think he wants to be there, but
he's hurt.
He said he got an abdominal strain. They've had since the summer, since Team USA.
That's fine, but still not going to help him. I don't think he wants to be there. Denver got a lot of injuries. Jokic.
One we'll talk about.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I say. Jokic is, that guy, but I don't think.
It is a reigning MVP.
Yeah, but by himself,
Murray should be there for the second half. I'm worried about Denver. Yeah. They can make a push for sure.
Yeah. But Murray, he comes back. I just want to see what type of Murray you get because, to me, he's one of the most inconsistent, like, all-stars that you can see. But when he gets hot, it's a wrap. Yeah, it might be, but he's inconsistent to me. So I'm not too – I think Timberwolves –
They got wiggle room, though.
Yeah, they got wiggle room. But I think Timberwolves are cool. And I like Anthony. I'm not going to lie. Edwards is dope. And the more he plays, the better he gets. It's – like, and he's really, you know what I'm saying, I guess, he'll really give, I think the better he gets, the more confidence that they get to put into him. I think don't be surprised if they upset a few people and they actually make it to the playoffs if it gets, like, close. So I think I'm giving them a chance. Personally, I don't know. We got enough heat on it.
I'm going to say 80% chance they stay in the playing game.
80%? That's pretty good.
Like they stay within the 10 seed.
He's not worried about the Kings, Joe.
I expect it. Yeah, the Kings don't fucking impress me.
Bro, I can't wait for the Kings to make that 10th spot. I can't wait.
Well, we ain't worried about the Kings.
What did Shaq call them?
The Queens.
Once Shaq called them the Queens,
that was it.
They were done.
Oh.
That was it. They were done.
Classic.
They were done. He part the team, man. He can call him whatever he wants.
First of all, he wasn't owner of the. He became owner once he did what he did to them in the playoffs. That's when he became owner officially. I don't care what the money says. And that's when he said. That's when he called them the Queens, and that's when they became trash.
That
So
was a
the
wrap.
guy that you claim can't shoot is shooting 35% from three. Anthony Edwards shooting 35% from three. That's not that
That's
bad.
not good. That's not good though in this NBA
It's not
either.
good, but like that's fine. Like
He
it's
makes up for it, so shit.
Well, I
Right.
said I just say he needs to be able to shoot better.
I
at
give
the
you
end of the
that.
day, all those teams that you're
Just not
talking
one
about,
option.
all those teams that you're talking about that are in that race, is there really a better like core three than Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell? Like for sure.
Joe, be honest.
Just don't have faith in them. I just
All
don't. I
right,
just
I would
really
say.
don't.
I mean, it's fine. Like a lot of them are unproven.
Karl Anthony Towns is gonna get hurt.
All right, so you're predicting injuries now. All right, De'Aaron Fox is going to get hurt. How about that?
Yeah.
Like,
we
can all say that.
Kings now.
He's hurt. He's hurt for a couple games, so that's gonna hurt him. I'm just saying.
All right, whatever.
But
I put 80% chance they go, but like, all right.
who you got the OKC over
let's get some
them?
news out there. All right, so timely. Some of the news last night. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Thunder lost by 73 points to the Grizzlies. The Ja Morantless Grizzlies. They didn't have Ja.
What?
Like
Bro,
largest margin to victory in NBA history. We don't need to discuss that. Just throwing it out there. Just covering everything.
yeah, they need to find come on now. Like trust the process. This is beyond trust the process. 70? Yo, you gotta see fine. You can't put that on TV. Even on local TV. Like 70? Come on, bro.
How many first round picks do those guys have though?
It's insane. Oh,
they've got like all of them.
Yeah, it's insane.
They've got like an average of 3 the next like 5 years. Like that could work. It's just not working right now.
And they have a good player. I feel so bad for Shea Gilgeous. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Right, so some other news: Michael Porter Jr. is done for the season. He's having back surgery
Again.
Yeah, unfortunate. Zion had a setback in his foot. His first day of full practice, he got full cleared. He practiced, and there was some discomfort in his foot, so they're kind of ramping him back down before they ramp him back up.
It's called diabetes. Dude, fat as fuck. Lose some weight. He's gonna ruin his career. I need to tell that man to stop eating the gumbo. Somebody gotta say it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
All right, LeBron tested positive for COVID. It turns out it was a fake positive, and he is good to go. He is playing tonight against the Clippers. We were recording on Friday the 3rd. And the last one, the one that breaks my heart, Bam is out 4 to 6 weeks with a torn ligament in his thumb.
Any chance for that to be less than 4 to 6 weeks? Really need him on the fantasy squad.
6 weeks.
I wish, Gavin. I fucking wish.
It's gonna be legit 4 to 6 weeks.
It's probably gonna be 6.
No.
That takes us.
Y'all gonna get bullied though. Y'all gonna be so small. Y'all gonna be out rebounded every game. But y'all won tonight.
Markieff Morris is still out from the cheap shot Jokic gave him. So like we're down to Dedmon and my boy Yurt, who I told you about before the season. He's just not quite up to like NBA speed yet. So like a little early to be relying on him.
Well, but about to see.
All right, so we're gonna play our
that first game without Bam. That goose egg. You saw that? 20 minutes, all zeros. Only took 2 shots, no rebounds.
I missed the beginning of that.
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, Duncan's had a rough start to the year. Rough start to the year. Right, we're going to play our panic game. So, Gavin, the way this works is we all have our fake panic buttons. I'm going to give you a team or a player, and then you're going to tell me if you are smashing the panic button at this given time. And so, Bam perfectly leads into the first one. My Miami Heat, they're down. Jimmy Butler's out with a tailbone contusion. Bam is now out 4 to 6 weeks. That's probably going to put him back around the same time as Oladipo. So, they're down to Lowry and Hero. Trying to kind of keep everything together. Do you think this stretch could put them too far down in the standings where we need to hit the panic button? Gavin, start me off here. Are you hitting the panic button on my Heat or no?
No, I'm not worried about them. Lowry will get them through this. They've got enough potential to kind of steady the ship at this point. Plus, I mean, we were looking at the standings here. The East, you got the Cavaliers behind them. Anybody worried about them?
No.
I don't
They're
know.
actually
We were
playing pretty
talking
good.
to
I'm intrigued by them. I'm intrigued by them.
They're gonna bully you every night.
take a look at the
I mean, yeah,
Heat's
they play
roster
like
right
8
now.
centers.
Yeah, the Heat's roster
I
right
mean,
now
the
missing
Heat
what
just
they're
lost to the
missing
Cavaliers on Wednesday. Just lost to them on Wednesday.
on an L2 streak, and the Cavaliers, I mean, they're on a win 4 in a row right now, so they're hot.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, you've got the Hornets. I mean, that's concerning. The Knicks down there, Celtics, Hawks. I don't know. I think you guys are going to fight and win enough. I think one of the reasons why you guys went to the NBA Finals 2 years ago is because those depth pieces were outperforming kind of what the expectation was for them. So you still have guys like Hero who are going to score enough. I'm not panicking yet for the Heat. Maybe I should, but I think you got enough talent still there that can compete with those teams that are right there below you. And I think the Wizards are outperforming their play right now. I think the Bulls are good. I think they're still outperforming their roster just a bit. So I think you'll see them come back down to earth a little bit as well.
Okay. Joe?
I'm not panicking at all. Not even a little bit. No panic whatsoever. If you look at y'all, if you guys do drop, y'all not drafting past the 4 seed. Like Gavin said, the Wizards, they're playing better than their roster. Brad's not even playing that great yet.
5 seed right now. We're already below the 4 seed. We're at 5 right now, aren't we?
Y'all at 3.
Y'all at 3.
We're 3 now?
Yeah, beat the Pacers. So
that's okay. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried. Yeah, it's a lot going on right in that area, but I'm not worried about that team. The Bucks, they're gonna get healthy, so they may rise. But you guys aren't dropping past the 4 seed. I'm not worried about the Cavs. The Hawks aren't the same team they were last year. Celtics ain't gonna go nowhere. Hornets, they're gonna go up a little bit, but they're nothing. Knicks, I'm not worried about the Knicks this year either. The Bulls is really the only team that I could see you guys having to struggle with. You guys probably wouldn't want to see them at the 4 or 5 area in the playoffs. That's the only thing I could see. Besides that, I had no panic.
Devion?
Thanks. Yeah, no panic, but I'm not panicking about it. You know how I feel about Miami. They just, depth, and then the rest of this weak ass East, like, who's going to really give them problems?
The Bucks.
Yeah, but the Bucks. I think the Bucks are at the 5th seed right now. I think Bucks will end up being, like
when they get
anywhere
healthy.
from that 2
to
4.
They'll get back to top 3.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They go easily get up there. And Wizards, I agree. I think I'm shocked that the Wizards are playing as well. I'm gonna be real with you, but now you talk about one injury really away. Like that's it. So I don't. As long as if Miami gets, let's say, I panic if I think Miami starts to get to like 6, 7 seed, then I'm a panic. But I don't think they'll drop that far.
All right, you guys are. This is weird. You guys have more confidence than I do right now.
You're a fan, so it don't matter. We always hard on our teams.
So, well, the reason is more because of Jimmy's kind of like lingering tailbone thing. Like, I need this to go away. Like, he didn't even travel with the team on the road trip to Indianapolis and Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a lingering type issue.
Yeah, it's like, because the thing, like, if Jimmy's good to go after this road trip, then I'm good. I don't care. But if Jimmy keeps missing games, like, I don't want to see Tyler Hero be the best player on the Heat because Kyle Lowry has not been that fantastic consistently for the Heat. Duncan, I'm still waiting for Duncan to wake up and shoot. Like, he's shooting 32% from 3 right now.
Future Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
They're just gonna disrespect the Hall of Fame right there.
I'm just saying, I've seen too many games not be very good. That's all I'm saying. All right, we don't need to get into your love affair with Kyle Lowry right now. But I'm not panicking yet. But I'm a little worried. Let's go next.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jimmy can get us through like the rough patch. If there's no Jimmy, I don't know that I trust him to get through like a patch without Bam, without Oladipo. All right, stop. All right, Kemba Walker. He had the homecoming. He was going back to New York, and now Tibbs says he's out of the rotation. Gavin, are we panicking on Kemba? Like, is it time to panic? Is like career over or just season over?
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it's definitely a season over here, at least until the trade deadline. I think
Yeah,
you can
he's
probably
not
still.
cracking Tibbs' lineup.
No, I think that's one of the things with Tibbs is like he will cut off his nose to spite his face. And so he's got a good player here that for whatever reason Kimba is not buying into the system that he wants to play. There's one thing I learned at this time in Timberwolf land is that it's his way or the highway. And I think Kimba's being shown the highway right now, sadly. So I say his time in New York is done. They'll look to trade him for next to nothing. So one of these teams that are sitting there around the 7, 8, 9 spot, that would be a good call for them to make and try and make a move for him. I think the Sixers, like if they're real, I think they're sitting at the 11 right now. They are desperate. They need a guard to help play through this. So I think that would be a good move for them to make, and I think you can get them for almost probably a second-round pick at this point.
I like that thought, Gavin.
I like that, though. I'm not going to lie.
I hadn't thought about that. I like
weak
that.
ass 76ers, but yeah.
All right. Joe?
I'm panicking, but I'm not panicking on Kemba Walker because I think Kemba Walker can still play. I think he could be a 6-man or play somewhere else in the league. I'm panicking on the New York Knicks because everybody last year said the Knicks are turning it around. Dolan's not in the way anymore. They did all the right things. They got Julius Randle, an all-star. They're making the playoffs. And what they do in the offseason, they got Tibbs, and they turn around, and they get Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, two non-defensive playing MFers who go to a coach that only plays players who play defense. So you get rid of Reggie Bullock and Frank Ntilikina, who actually play some defense. Can't shoot, but they gonna play some defense. And you get rid of them and bring in some people who don't play defense. And
Frank's actually shooting the ball not too bad this year for Dallas. He's actually not shooting too terribly. It's kind of funny, but the fit was ridiculous.
Because the Knicks are the Knicks, and that's why they are where they are. And I'm so glad that Knicks fans got so hyped last year to see it all fall apart because they act like Julius Randle is an MVP top 10 player in the league. The dude's good, but he's not a perennial all-star.
But don't you think the NBA is better when the Knicks are good, Joe?
The Knicks are good.
Exciting.
They makes them seem good. If they were in the West last year, they would have been the same spot as the Lakers in a play-in situation. They're not that good. It's just because they're New York.
I think the NBA is better when the Knicks are interesting.
Interesting.
And I'd say they qualify as interesting right now.
Exactly.
I would say
They don't have to necessarily be good. If they have expectations and then suck, like that's just as entertaining as when they're
they weren't good when they weren't good when what's his name was there.
Melo,
yeah, not Melo, the Asian kid guy. I can't believe I'm drawing.
Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, that team wasn't good, but it was interesting. That shit wasn't good.
Bro,
all right, Devion,
you've never been in New York before, my boy. Because when the Knicks are good, that's great for basketball. Even interest.
I haven't been good. They've been interesting.
It'd be interesting, same shit. That's interesting is good to them. So tomatoes time.
Coming out of the first is interesting to them, and they haven't done that in a minute.
But Kemba, not good. He already has that with history.
Panic or no panic? I need to know.
Panic. Because he went from all the injuries. You thought he'd be good with the Celtics. They traded him to the Knicks. He probably should have never been traded with the Knicks, but the Knicks are desperate to get any fucking name to try to be good, And he's he's from the Bronx too, so they treat him they really treat him like a god out there. I'm not gonna lie to you. They really like Kemba a lot out there. But this shit is terrible. Low key, he really might have to worry about his career after this season for real. I'm not gonna lie to you because I agree with you. I think they might get a second round pick for this dude, and he's gonna have to go and really ball out and have a resurgence somewhere. But it's not looking like D Rose. I like D Rose. D Rose is outperforming him, and he done been through hell and back. And you're not supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be neck and neck with D Rose right now.
D Rose has been a good player.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, of all the things he's been through, the hype that Kemba has, and Kemba is, you know what I'm saying? Kemba's supposed to be better than him right now.
But here's the thing, Kemba has low-key had about as many surgeries as D Rose has on those knees. And Kemba was never the athlete that Derrick Rose was. He's
No.
also my height, where D Rose is at least like 6'3".
Yeah.
Like Kemba
But
is 6'8".
But D Rose, but that's what I'm saying. D Rose depended a lot on his athleticism, like being explosive, dunking.
Right.
Kemba
Yeah, but
didn't
like
rely on his athleticism like that. He was just quick and was, you know what I'm saying, nice
yeah,
with
but
the
he
rocks
still
when it
had.
came to
But
handles.
being quick is still athleticism. Like that's how we
Yeah,
created separation.
First
And
step.
yeah.
if you're 6 feet tall and can't separate, what are you gonna
It's a
do?
wrap.
But he got a, hey man, he got a dribble
Honestly,
package
in
where
the league.
even if he ain't as quick, he got a
You know,
handle. You know what I'm saying,
I,
where he
I
can
thought
create
the
some
same
space,
thing,
bro.
Devion, but
But
he even said it himself. He was on JJ Redick's podcast like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he said he actually really relied on pick and roll to get his separation. He
see,
said
I
you
don't
couldn't
watch
really.
that podcast. I didn't know that.
Not about. He said didn't feel like he could really shake people in the NBA like he could when he was
Why
at
would he
UConn.
say that out loud?
Yeah, why the fuck
Well,
would he?
he didn't say it that explicitly, but like reading between the lines,
Nah,
like that's what he was saying. Like he said, yeah, I
definitely
really rely on
panicking
pick
now.
and roll to get to get my separation and find my shots. That tells me you think you can't shake somebody in the NBA. Like that's what that said.
So he's having, yeah, I'm definitely panicking now. I didn't know he said no shit like that. So that sounds like he don't got his confidence no more either.
Well, but the crazy thing was he was also talking about how happy he was to be in New York.
Yeah,
That's what was crazy about it.
that's because they
Playing for
treat
the
him like
Knicks.
a fucking god. And like real talk, bro. Like you have to hear.
Yeah,
Like I
but bro,
used to
like this
live
was
out
this was
there.
in season. Like, don't you think
Yeah,
he would have been like feeling like the disconnect with Tibbs? Like,
yeah,
there's no way that like blindsided him. Like, oh, Tibbs doesn't like how I'm playing. Like, there's no way that happened.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or
right.
like he knew that was so. I don't know. Really
Yeah,
strange. He's probably
they're
just
not a
trying to
good.
be
They're
like,
not a good like combo either. Yeah, that's not like
Yeah, Devian, I'm with you. I'm
yeah.
panicking because
I'm
who's
panicking.
gonna want to give him a shot? Like at the end of the day, yeah, I'm sure he wanted to go home,
That's fair.
but he got
Yeah.
bought out of OKC after the trade from Boston. I don't know that there's that many people that want to sign him. Like
The
think about it.
Knicks.
Think about all your teams. Do you guys want him on do you guys want him on the Lakers?
Hell
No,
no.
fuck
No.
no.
Gavin, you want him on the Timberwolves?
No, he's got the wrong stuff. Not what we're looking for.
Like I would maybe take him on the Heat as like a bench scorer, but that's only because I think we got so many other people that can make up defensively for him. But like he needs like a really specific situation.
Like what?
That's what I'm saying. Like
Sixers
he
need
would
a
need
scoring
like a
guard,
Heat
man.
or like,
See,
yeah, like or the
that's-
Sixers.
That's
Like there's
the
very few
only
teams
team.
that could.
But
This
that's
is the
Seth
only team.
Let's move on.
Maxey.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move
They
on.
suck.
Denver.
Oh my god.
Are we panicking on Denver? They have a losing record. MPJ out for the year. We're still going to be waiting a minute for Jamal Murray. Like, I'm worried that they might fall too far and then not be able to make it up once they get their point guard back. Gavin,
Right.
start it off.
Facts.
Yeah, I would be panicking for this one. Jokic winning his MVP last year kind of feels like the runner-up in the Super Bowl. And so I just feel like we're not seeing the same version of himself. And then he doesn't have all the other players there to
Oh,
kind of
man.
help carry the load. And so I think you're seeing that right now. If they don't get help soon, then they're all just going to get complacent to wherever you want to call their current play style right now. It ain't good. I don't see help on the way. If they don't make a move here soon, then Jokic is going to continue getting his, but it's not going to be at that MVP level. Like I said, for whatever reason, he's just seems somewhat disinterested. And I suppose when you're not winning a whole lot, that seems to make sense. And when you don't have a lot of help, it's kind of like Kevin Love with the Timberwolves 10 years ago, where it's just like it feels like purgatory for him, and he knows it. Everybody else knows it. And so, they're going to float around this 12 to 10 spot for the next 4 months.
All right. Joe?
Ooh. Man, this one's tough. I think I'm not panicking, but I am a little concerned. I'm definitely a little concerned because of the injuries. But at the end of the day, they do have Jokic, MVP last year. He's averaging 25, 13, and 6. So he's going to ball out. He's going to do what he has to do. So I think he's going to be able to keep them in some games, keep them afloat. But what do you consider good for the Denver Nuggets? They want to be in that 1, 2, or 3 spot. They probably consider panicking if they're in that 5 or 6, which I think they could end up being that because all the injuries and when people are going to come back. So they may conceive it as panicking, but I think they'll be just right in that 4 or 5 area. So I'm not panicking.
Well, let's take a look at
Okay.
that standings here again. I know, but like they're sitting at 10, and then you look at who's at
Like,
1, 2,
I need to.
Suns, Warriors, Jazz, Mavericks. None of those guys are going to be faltering unless major injury
The
happens.
Mavericks.
Basketball, yeah. Basketball. They're going to get
But
tired.
are they going to fall? I mean, then you've got the Grizzlies. I'm buying them this year. I think that they're legit. Lakers are going to be coming up. The Clippers are going to be coming up, right? And so it's like, who's falling down? If it's, I mean, you got the Timberwolves and the Trailblazers that we've talked about, but that's only the spots between 8, 9, and 10. There's not much room for them to grow past 7.
Yeah, they can't keep losing. That's for sure.
Dallas, Grizzlies, Clippers. I can see them getting past them.
Who?
Just because those teams are just iffy.
We don't like the
you
Clippers.
panicking?
We don't like the Clippers, so that don't count. Yeah, right now, yeah, bro. The Flippers, fuck them. But yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I just
The
don't
Nuggets.
like them.
Are you panicking on the Nuggets?
I'm panicking like on the Nuggets, yeah. And then I just don't. I don't see how they can make up that much grounds. Like Jokic is gonna be Jokic, but he's damn near gonna have to be averaging like 40 and 20. Murray's gonna have to come back like a superstar, and they just gonna have to just take off while everybody else just slowly starts falling a little bit. Don't see it happening. Like they might get lucky, with the little play-in games at the end of the season. They might upset because you got to win like 2 games with
Depending on which one you fall to.
Yeah, so they might, they might upset some people then and slide in that way, but they not like what Gavin said, bro. They not who are they going to beat on that? Well, he's just named.
No, yeah, that's tough.
Like,
I think the real question here is your context for the Denver Nuggets. Is your context with them trying to like compete for a title this year? If yes, then panic like major panic. If your context is like just be able to win a playoff series or two, then I'm not panicking yet. I think what'll be interesting though is when Murray comes back and then Gordon slides to being their third option and more of a defensive player. I'll be interested to see if this makes Michael Porter Jr. expendable.
Paid the man already.
Yeah, they just paid him, didn't they?
Did, but they got a lot of other fun offensive play. Because the end of the day, Michael Porter has never taken
back surgery.
He hasn't even taken a baby step defensively. Like he is just terrible defensively. And if that's all he's going to be, just an offensive guy, they got Monte Morris. Like they got a lot of guards that can pick up just scoring.
Yeah. You can
like
just
they
be
can
Jordan
do that
Clarkson for us, for real.
Yeah, like they can get a couple guys that can fill the offensive load, and then feature Aaron Gordon a little more, get him a little more involved offensively, and then he's still a very good defensive player. And as slow as Jokic is, like foot speed wise, he gets his hand on a lot of balls. He gets a lot of steals. He still blocks shots somehow, even though he can barely jump over, like a piece of paper. But he's actually a fairly good defender. I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it.
He is.
I kind of do.
I don't know how he.
A little cheap shot, but so
he's just sneaky.
I'm going to be kind of watching them as they adjust without Michael Porter for this season. It might end up being a good thing for them.
Too many injuries this year. Like it's just too many.
It's
man.
a lot.
And I hope it doesn't go into like next year because Michael Porter Jr. They paid him that money. He is just like that's a waste at this point. They could have filled that roster spot with somebody else.
Hey, he's still gonna get paid. It's not a waste.
Yeah, for him.
All right, y'all want to play a little start sit cut?
Yeah, I like this one.
All right, so we got 2. We got one that is just a more general contemporary NBA right now.
Can we do a third one with the other? I want to hear what Gavin wants to say about the one we talked about with LaMelo. I really want to see what he says. Yeah, I want to see what he says about that.
All right, well, let's start with that one. So we didn't get Joe's opinion on that one either.
Yeah.
And that one was LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, and Ja Morant.
Oh.
Start, sit, cut.
This is tough.
No prep for you guys. Me and Devion already kind of gave our answers last week, but we'll recap. Devion, you're kind of an asshole for putting one on the spot like this.
I know.
So while they think Devion, while they think, recap your answer from last week.
I said, what was it? Start Ja, sit LaMelo, cut Anthony Edwards.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Can I ask, like, is this for now, like tonight? Like, they're all three on your team tonight? Okay, because that's a different question. If we're talking next 10 years, what are you doing with these guys?
Nah, it's the same to me still.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
no,
that's what made it hard for me. Because I couldn't separate the two. Sometimes it's way different. Like way
okay,
different.
and so my answer was slightly different. I would start Ja, bench Anthony Edwards, cut LaMelo very, very closely.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm all right there. I'm really all right there.
Man, that's tough.
So let's let our wonderful guest go first.
I can't argue much with that. I'd go Ja and then LaMelo, and then I would cut Anthony Edwards right now if it was tonight.
Wow, the Timberwolves fan would cut the fucking Timberwolves.
Why do you say that?
He's right.
Why? Because I mean, Ja is the best player of those three right now. I don't think there's much of an argument.
I think Ja starting is easy. Ja starting is easy. LaMelo and Anthony Edwards
today. Like, I think he's just that good. And then just LaMelo can run a team. Edwards can't run a team yet. You know, like, he's good. He's an incredible player, and he's going to put butts in seats. But, like, LaMelo can run a team right now. He elevates other people's play around him, and I don't know if Edwards is there yet. I think he can get there, and I think he potentially has a higher ceiling just because of his natural, like, abilities. So, again, the 10-year question, that's really challenging because I think Edwards is the best athlete. And if his shot, imagine if he was shooting 40% from the arc right now. Like, holy cow. And then imagine if he learns to pass and learns to be a leader and not just this alpha male that he is on the court at this present time. So I think right now I can't argue. I think it's Josh, start, Melo, bench, and Edwards is going to be cut.
And Joe, you're going the same way?
Yeah, I can understand. All
right, so let me just tell you why I reversed LaMelo and Anthony Edwards.
Because you don't know what you're talking about? I mean, we can move on.
Joe, let's not get into this. Let's not get into. I'm not taking that from Patty Mills is better than some fucking Tyler Hero, all right? I'm not taking that from you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I ain't never gonna forget that.
This is on fucking video.
I would take Patty Mills over Tyler Hero right now.
No, you wouldn't.
Right now,
either one, you should be fucking drug tested. I'm not taking criticism from you.
A month ago. That was a month
Hero
ago.
is killing it this year, Joe.
Again, Tyler Hero's rookie year is a career year for Patty fucking Mills.
Whatever.
Right? Let's end that. The reason why I'm going Anthony Edwards is because y'all are getting so caught up in the passing of LaMelo. I get it. It's fun. Anthony Edwards is fucking Dwayne Wade. But is like 6'7". Like, that dude's a fucking monster.
Can we stop disrespecting Dwayne Wade and everybody that can get to the rim? When they're young, we say he's the next Dwayne Wade.
Can we stop doing that?
He's influenced a lot of people, my man.
I'm with you, Joe. You're probably right. There's too many people doing that, but like, I like that comp right now.
First of all, if anyone on this show is allowed to make a Dwayne Wade comparison,
that's you. I'll give you that.
Too much.
I disagree. I can do it. And I'm saying he reminds me of a young Dwayne Wade. Like, he's not, because like you said, Joe, he's not like a great shooter, but he makes a lot of timely fucking shots.
He does. I'll give you that.
And then the way he will just bless anybody at the rim.
Put you on a post. Like,
it makes it so fun.
I only know one other person that used to kind of do that.
Posters was
shout
still a thing.
Shout out Anderson Varejao.
He'd have like 5 of them. Like, real talk. If they were still a thing, he'd have like 5 of them. Especially, that was one of the best posters this year. I think he got it.
Yeah, offensive foul, whatever.
That's ridiculous. So crazy. Offensive
foul. So let's go to the new one. We're doing centers. Rudy Gobert, Miles Turner, Clint Capella. All very valuable players for their teams. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Gavin, I want your opinion. Gavin, I don't think is familiar with how much I hate a certain someone on this list. I don't think
you don't have to start his ass, so it's okay.
Yeah,
you're going to start him.
I think right now I mean, we know what we're getting with Rudy. I think Clint is just too simple. Miles Turner's been playing really well this year. If it's today, I'm starting Turner, I'm benching Rudy, and I'm cutting Clint.
My fucking guy, Gavin. Joe?
Oh,
I
I
mean,
like that.
My
bro.
fucking guy.
Rudy! I'm starting Rudy. You gotta start Rudy, bro. Come on, man. Defensively, you just gotta start him. You gotta start him. Sorry. And then, man,
Yeah,
I'm taking Clint Capella. I like what he
Clint
does. Pick
Capella,
and
you
roll.
watching the NBA right now. Come on.
Do you
Miles
watch him?
Turner is playing on fire right now. That dude is killing it right
Be
now.
up out of there too. Miles Turner's going to be up out of there too. I've seen him play well before too, and it doesn't last long. He gets hot streaks.
All right, let's not act like
He's a
any of these
good
three are
center.
carrying a fucking team to the playoffs.
Exactly. Miles Turner, I do like him a lot. He's probably the best offensive player out of these three.
Not
So I just like
probably.
what
Not
I like.
probably.
I like what Clint Capella does with the pick and roll, and he can rebound, offensive rebounding.
I'll give you
I
that.
like him a lot, so I would bench him. But you got to start. You got to start Rudy. I hate to say it.
I'm
Like
done
you
with
got
you.
to though.
Evian.
Come on, bro. You got to start him.
I hate weak ass Rudy Gobert, but I start him, and I'm not saying that proudly either. I'm really not, and I only saying that because it's his defense and what it does. But
got to.
I am sitting Miles Turner, and I'm cutting Clint. Clint is like one dimensional, and if he's not in a good pick and roll, what the fuck is he gonna do?
If he doesn't have the guard play, he's rendered useless.
I might actually start Miles Turner. I'm not gonna lie to you because that boy can ball. Like he can actually do. Like Rudy is just good defensively, and that's why he creates it. Defense, some couple dunks. I'm gonna start Miles Turner. I lied, and I bench Rudy because
I just think,
Miles Turner got fruit, bro. Like he actually can do. Like we're like this, Joe.
There's the only Hall of Famer on the list.
I don't care. Miles Turner, it was on like a different team where he can really showcase his talent. It wouldn't be a contest. You know what I'm saying?
He should be the focal point, not Sabonis. Sabonis plays better than Miles Turner on that team.
Well,
that's Sabonis is better. Sabonis is better. He's got way more of a skill set than he does. But nonetheless, first of all, if I introduce Sabonis into the list, he's starting over.
But Miles Turner coming into the league, he had way more potential. He just hasn't really reached.
He's the modern day
injuries, but
injuries.
All right. So Gavin, I think you had the right list.
Yeah.
Devion, it took you a little bit.
Yeah.
Miles Turner is the easy start. Start.
It is. I had to think. I shouldn't even.
You got to
think
bench.
about it.
I'll bench Rudy. I won't fucking cut Rudy, even though I hate him.
We're talking about 7-game series. You definitely can't start.
And I'm cutting Clint Capella because Clint Capella is essentially just like he's like a Rudy Gobert light. That's basically what he is. So I'll tell you, but the reason why you start Miles Turner is he can shoot the three. Very important. Those two can't.
Yeah.
And little known fact, Joe, but you know who leads the NBA in blocks per game right now? It's not fucking Rudy Gobert. It's fucking Miles Turner.
Okay.
By a lot.
Okay.
So the one thing that Rudy does, Miles Turner does it better.
Yeah. Caruso leads the league and steals. Is he the best defender in the league?
Joe,
the one thing that Rudy Gobert does is block shots, and Miles Turner is better than him at it.
The number one thing that Rudy Gobert does is alter shots, not block shots.
Okay, but like, why does he alter shots? Because they're scared of it getting blocked.
Yeah.
So if this guy's blocking shots better than him, they're going to be also scared of him.
Let me see the advanced analytics before. Let me see the advanced analytics.
You said something good.
Researcher, bro.
7-game series, Joe. Like you said something good. 7-game series. Are you really Rudy in 7-game series?
ISO him. You're right. No, I wouldn't. Not in a 7-game series because he's gonna get 8 up.
All right. So thank you for admitting that you're wrong, Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
So here, we're gonna do a Gavin centric one here. We're gonna do a Timberwolves edition. Legends of Minnesota.
This is right now, right? This is right now. No past, no future. right now.
Well, no,
With
it's
this
obviously
next
not right now because one of the
54-year-old Kevin
fucking players is
Garnett.
retired,
I'm just saying,
Devion. If you look at the list, one of them is like 50.
I still think even if he's in like today's like right now, he is
Career.
still
So project
career.
the rest of
Yeah.
the two that are still playing. Project their careers. All
Yeah.
right, what you
There
think
we
they're
go.
going to end up being. So I think the start will be very obvious.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
this is the best way that I can do it. So Kevin Garnett,
So career.
Carl Anthony, career,
Okay.
Timberwolves lore. Kevin Garnett, Carl Anthony Towns, and Kevin Love.
I think this is easy.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold
that's
on.
easy.
So this is only their careers at Minnesota, or is it their
Minnesota.
NBA
We are
careers?
looking at the box of Minnesota here.
I think this is easy.
I don't think it really matters, but the box of Minnesota.
Mm.
The first one's across the board for us all.
Well,
Let's
I think
check
it's
out.
because I have hope that I'm going to go with this order. So KG is got to be the start. But I believe that we can make some noise in the playoffs with Cat and with Edwards. So I'll go Cat. And I also think he's just more of a unique talent. Love K-Love, but I'd have to end up cutting him.
Wow.
I was
I'm
respect.
actually surprised by that. That's not what I thought. I thought you would bench Love.
I'm surprised.
Kevin Love's
Joe?
more of a unique talent thing. Carl Anthony Towns is, in my opinion.
Wait,
All right,
When
Joe,
he-
well, give us your fucking order then.
Well, I'm definitely taking KG first. That's obvious. Come on,
Facts.
KG.
Obviously.
And then I'm taking Kevin Love just because dude can rebound. What he did, man, what he was doing when he was with the Timberwolves, dude was a beast out there. When he was bigger, had that big body, getting rebounds, putting up buckets like it was nothing. I'm definitely taking Kevin Love over Carl Anthony Towns in that one. Cat got to go. He too soft for me. He got to go.
You guys already want him to go.
Devion?
Hall of Fame KG and an All-Star K Love there, and you guys are like, "What's up with the K's, by the way? Why is it always K?"
And they're all going to win championships when they leave.
Huh?
God, I hope not. That would suck.
Leave and
I
get
didn't even think about that. Damn,
Or
Joe.
like the championship maker. It
Brooklyn
just
or something
never
gets a
happened to Minnesota.
Like the
Yeah.
minor league for LeBron James.
Yeah, it's like Edwards is gonna go to Miami here in like 6 years and give Jimmy a championship to like write off with. And, yeah, God, that would suck.
That'd be great.
All right,
Sounds
Devion.
believable.
What's your order?
It sounds believable. KG,
Come on, man.
greatest shit talker ever.
Whoa.
Gary Payton second.
Larry Bird was the greatest shit talker ever, but
Who-
that's fine.
Who is?
Bird.
Boy.
Larry Bird. Boy went out there and
All right, let's
warmed
not
up
get
the
too
three-point
off topic here.
contest
Let's not get
at
too
the
off
All-Star
topic.
game in his warm-ups and told everybody he was going to do it. Larry Bird.
All right.
But anyway, you can get back to your little soliloquy that you
Look.
finna go on.
Whatever. KG. Mr. 2020, Kevin Love, and Cat, I'm giving it him. So look, if Cat makes it to a playoffs with Minnesota,
No. Don't do all this
I'm not
ifs
saying-
and projecting, motherfucker.
I'm
Project.
keeping my list. I'm just keeping my list. I'm just saying,
That's all you have to say.
if Cat actually gets like a fucking playoff win or something like that, I can justify what you're saying. But Kevin Love was a dog with Minnesota.
Didn't he have like a stretch where he had like 2020 for like 5 games in a row or something crazy like that? He went on a crazy
ridiculous.
stretch.
It was
Crazy
Hold on,
long
we'll know.
stretch.
We'll know because at some point, right, if Minnesota happens the way Minnesota happens, we'll trade them all away. And so once we can compare the trade packages for all three of these guys, then we'll actually know who the best is, right? So I think like KG was 3 firsts, K Love was 2, so like that's what Cat's got to compare against here. So he needs to find a way to land
That's
3
funny.
first-round picks when we trade them away.
That's
here in a
so
couple years.
funny, man.
All right, so I will clean sweep for start. KG starts, obviously. I'm actually going Gavin. I'm going with Cat for the same exact reasoning. I think they've got a chance to have a little playoff success. Not a ton. I don't expect them to win a title or anything. But I think he'll actually have some playoff success, which then will put him as like playoff second all-time leading scorer or some shit. So I think that'll matter because Kevin Love, I don't know if he even got a shot attempt in the playoffs with the Timberwolves.
No.
So that's
I
why
think
I
so.
would bench Kevin Love in terms of just Timberwolves time period.
I mean, wasn't it
Right.
Kevin Love and Ricky Rubio? Like, come on, man.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's his fault, but we're talking
Yeah.
about like as being a legend of Minnesota.
He had nobody. Don't act like he was. Come on, man, he had nobody.
Hey, they
Who was this?
Oh, yeah.
but it was
I
fun
mean,
to
obviously, I
watch.
think Kevin Love is the better player. I think
Yeah.
like Kevin Love, Minnesota was better than Karl
Yeah.
Anthony Towns. But I'm talking
Just
about in terms
saying
of
him
like
not making the playoffs. That's kind of unfair, bro. Come on, man.
No, they
if you're really that guy, you take a team to the playoffs now. Like let's not act like
Yeah,
it's
that's
11
what
on 11.
Jokic is going to be doing this year.
Back then in the West, come on now.
Boy, they was fun
I'm
to
not
watch.
about to
We
go
don't
into
go
this.
there.
I'm not going to get into all this. Like,
Come on, man.
Don't fall for it. Yeah, they was don't fall. Yes.
all right, so let's our last segment to end the
Come on.
show. We're gonna some of us are gonna choose love, some of us are gonna choose violence. New little segment we're doing to end our shows. Gavin,
Gang
are
violin.
you choosing love or are you choosing violence?
Man, I'm choosing love. Love is the greatest, gentlemen. Love is the greatest.
All right, who you loving on? Who you loving on?
Okay, so the Huskers this year broke a record, the most losses within 7 points. I think the record was 8. We got to 9 this year. Scott Frost has been working hard, but it just hasn't clicked. Fired all of his offensive staff. The defense went from one of the worst in the country. I think it literally was top 10 worst to this year. It's top 20. Kept us in game time after time. Today, he hired a guy, Mickey Joseph, originally from Nebraska, was a quarterback back in the 90s for Nebraska. He's been at LSU the last 5 years. He recruited the likes of Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, some high level receiving talent, and not only recruited them, but also developed them. I think Justin was a 2 or 3 star when he came on. And ended up going to LSU. If you guys remember, his older brother was the quarterback, that dual threat who couldn't throw whatsoever. And so he kind of just got the family lineage. And in 3 years, this dude made him into the Justin Jefferson that we all know and love. So Mickey Joseph, I'm giving some love to Scott Frost for taking the pay decrease, a little bit of a humbling that he's taken over the last 4 years. But to take that in stride and to go land at a top level assistant coach like Mickey Joseph, that's a big time deal. And quite frankly, I'm not naive. Nebraska is not what it once was. We are not an attractive spot anymore. It's hard to recruit there, right? We're not like winning already. The cupboards are relatively bare, and to land someone like that to come in and help your offensive staff, I think it's a huge hire. So give him love to Scott Frost.
Mickey Joseph's brother is Vince Joseph, the coach, NFL coach, defense coordinator.
Is he really?
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, that's his brother.
Holy cow.
Defensive coordinator
Mickey
there.
Joseph on the show on 590 The Fan. No big deal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one reason I know that.
Joe, are you showing love or are you choosing violence today?
I'm showing love to LeVar Ball, to all those haters out there who told to get the mic out of his face. He don't know what he's talking about. He's a clown. Well, guess what? This clown got 2 NBA sons, and they balling out there. The boy rolling in the dough. You may not get your shoes from the Big Baller brand, but the man living nice. Black Fox stand up. We need more like him. That's what I'm talking about.
And LeAngelo in the G League, so he's got a shot.
He got a chance to go to China and make his money over there.
He's going to get all
Do we actually need more LeVar Balls in this world?
Yes.
Do we actually need more of him?
Yeah, I mean, he says some crazy shit that'll never actually happen. But like,
you put a mic in his face, that's your fault.
Right, but in terms of a guy that like loves his kids and wants the best for the kids, like you have to. He's good.
Hey, Lonzo Ball did not deserve to go number 2 to the Lakers. He got him there. He got him there. Just by talking. That's a talking.
That's a good point.
Nevian, are you choosing love or are you choosing violence today?
Wah, wah, wah.
There you go. There you go.
Of course, fuck the 76ers. Like, the whole organization. Oh my gosh. This process, they just suck. Like every week, it's just like every game, they just get worse, more drama. They don't just like, they just suck. Like, I hate them. Only team I hate worse than them is the Boston Celtics. That's it. That's it. I hate right now. I can't stand the 76ers more than the Flippers.
Damn.
Because they
Wow.
just find
Damn.
a way to mess up everything. Like, how do you find a way to mess up this talent? Blow it. You let Jimmy, Jimmy couldn't
Like
keep
Jimmy got
Jimmy. You lost him. Ben Simmons don't want to stay there. Doc go on there and say, don't say nothing. Like, no, we want Ben to stay now. And it's just like, come on, bro. Y'all got so much. And MB comes, we want Ben Simmons to stay. That's fake. No, you don't.
as hell.
Like, it's so
We
much.
already dogged them in the playoffs last
Man,
year.
it is so much like, it feels like some high school drama with them.
Like,
Like,
and the fans in too, because the fans ain't helping.
bro,
They're the whole city for real.
first of all, I love Philadelphia fans because they over here, they feel like me and I ain't even a fan. They hate them. And it's just like, I just want them to blow that team up. Like, and plus I'm pissed because Embiid did want to go to the Lakers and couldn't get him. So
because Daryl Morey, man, he think he gonna get 3 first-round picks. You ruined it. Ain't nobody finna do that for Ben Simmons. You should have did it early. Now
he
have
blew
they
it.
lost
He
the
should have
moment now?
traded. Like, why didn't you trade Ben? Like, damn.
What are you gonna get for him now?
Like, he's not even playing. He's not showcasing no talent. This is one of the worst organizations ever. They had great talent and find a way to fucking blow it. Even the Cavaliers got it right one time. I don't care if they got it right one time. Like, damn, bro. Like, y'all can't get, like, with this.
Yo. That's funny.
I'm done, man. I'm done.
All right. I chose love last week. I'm choosing violence this week. Now, I know we only talk about the NFL and the NBA, but I'm bringing in baseball. Fuck the owners in Major League Baseball. Fuck them. So I just want you. I know y'all don't really like baseball that much, but I love baseball. And so here's some of the things they're disagreeing about the collective bargaining. They don't want players in the MLB to be able to be a free agent until they are 29 and a half years old. They want them under team control until they are 29 and a half. Fuck them.
They already make them go through arbitration to get their money.
It's already fucked up. Like right now, it's like 6 years of team control. They want to push that to their 29 and a half. They want expanded playoffs. They don't want to pay minor leaguers. There's a whole court case, a class action suit that minor league players actually do not even make minimum wage with the minimum salary, which the vast majority of them have to take.
Who's gonna pay a 30-year-old a bunch of money? That's kind of crazy. That's all I'm stuck on. Like 29, you're gonna pay a 30-year-old a $200 million contract?
Well, the thing with baseball is like you're hitting your peaks in the 30.
Yeah.
Like the thing about the 29 and a half
is
like that's when the players can just finally be a free agent to negotiate in the fair market.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So they're trying to depress their value.
Yeah,
so like okay, they're 30, so they don't want to. We're not going to give a 30-year-old a 10-year deal. We're going to give you a 3-year deal worth $80 million, which is still obviously a great deal if you're a superstar. But if you're a guy that like maybe has a great year when you're 25, like just a good year when you're 25, you could maybe go out and get a 5-year deal for say $30 million, but you're actually going to get stuck making like $150K a year. Because you're still in team control and you're like a 30th round pick.
That's so messed up.
40 fucking rounds.
Yeah.
Draft home runs for him. You know
what I'm saying? So like, the whole thing is fucked up. They're all bitching about how they've lost all this money during COVID. We all know the stats now. The owners, the people that are in the top, 0.1% in the country made $2 trillion during fucking COVID. I'm not trying to hear about their losses from the baseball season.
Yeah, boy,
from the Yankees pretty much supply the money for the freaking Pirates. You gonna tell me I ain't got enough money?
The Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Cubs pretty much supply the rest of the league.
Yeah, come on.
The amount of money. Like I'm not trying to hear any of that.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Get a deal done. Pay the players. It's okay.
Well, do you think this bleeds into the season?
No, they'll get a deal done. If
They'll
they're
get it
bitching
done.
about losing money from the COVID season, they're not going to lose revenue by throwing away games.
This
They
ball is
get the
boring enough. I don't think they can handle the lockout, bro.
It's a
People will
it's a
go to
game of
something else.
chicken, unfortunately,
It's
that
a
the owners can pretty
fact.
much always win because it's 30 billionaires versus some millionaires
So
and some
many
people that are
people.
still trying to
Yeah.
just make a regular living. So that's why that the MLB is always the owners are always in a stronger position because there's so many players that the MLBPA represents. When you think about the NBA, it's 12 people per team versus 100 in one organization in baseball. It's just those people at
So
the bottom
many.
can't afford to miss games. So it
No.
puts all the power in the owner's hands if they
Yeah.
just say, okay, fine,
They're gonna be
not
back
going
to
to pay you
that.
until you guys do what we want
Everybody,
to do.
but that's only 30 owners. Yeah, that's what I want.
But back to that regular 9
And they're
to
all
5.
billionaires. You have to be a billionaire to be able to own a sports team.
It's not my only investment either. It's not, I'm
That's
not
the
like
little
the
toy you
Lakers.
go
I
play
got
with.
something else. Yeah, exactly.
But all right, y'all. Gavin, thank you so much for giving us an hour and 15 minutes of your time. We'll
Yes,
have to do
Happy to
this
sir.
be
again
here.
sometime
Excellent.
in the future.
We gotta
We
find
are
different guests. We can't have guests come on here who do more research than us.
No, he's nice. I like
and
that.
y'all.
No
Who was
pass
the
and
most
everything.
intriguing on it? He's been fun. That was
Great
this
episode,
is
guys.
great. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
We'll get this up Saturday sometime. Signing off, 3 Impossible.